streaming. Daniel Payne is saying, big hit by Ukraine. Yeah, there was a huge hit in. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, guys. I was talking to the TikTok. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody on YouTube and X. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's been lots happening, and I'm just calling it right now. I'm calling it, guys, that civil war has already begun. World War III is inevitable, and conscription has already started. Last night in the live stream, we were talking about this a little bit, and we talked about how the Germans have now implemented a new scheme through their... Thank you for the gift, Danny and Dee Marie on TikTok. Thank you, guys. So how the Germans have implemented this new phase, this new... Basically, if you're in Germany now, and I don't know how this is going to affect migrants. I really don't, guys. I don't know whether migrants into Germany will be affected. I don't know whether they will be prioritized. I really don't know. But what is key, the key dates to look for, if you guys are, if you guys think this can't happen to the United Kingdom, the 1st of January 2026, that's when this new not conscription starts to conscript. So what you have to do is, if you're 18 years or older in Germany, you all have to, I don't know, you'll be getting sent a message, and the people then have to go and have a medical report. Have a medical exam. Once they've had that medical exam, they have to fill out a questionnaire, and in that questionnaire, it will say, do you wish to serve as part of the German armed forces? Now, what they've said is, if they can't reach the numbers that they're trying to achieve, and I don't know what those numbers are, guys. It's very weird that nobody's saying what those numbers are. But listen, guys, I'm just going to speculate this. Whatever the numbers are, they're going to say they can't reach them, so they can, implement that conscription. So if they don't reach the numbers, and as I understand it, the Germans are sending out this message to 700,000 Germans, or, people who live in Germany, I guess. And then they're going to look for a number. And that is really happening. Also, you've got you've got civil war now in the United Kingdom. It's very difficult to say that it's not here with the amount of groups and counter groups and clashes that we've seen in town centers. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, a civil war, by the definition in the dictionary, is a violent conflict between two organized groups. Now, listen, if you live in the United Kingdom, I've harped on about this quite a few times, but I just want to give you guys a little taste. Is it that one? Yeah, I want to give you guys a little taster of what I've been talking about. So first of all, I'm going to share with you a video. Now, this video is by somebody called Johnny Midnight. I don't know this guy. I'm not subscribed to him. Now, he's giving a side-by-side. In fact, you know what? Let me just share this screen with you guys. Oh, sorry, I've not got the chat on. Good morning, everyone on YouTube. Sorry, right. Listen, guys, if you're watching now on YouTube, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share a video with you guys. They're talking about Canada, but I would say Canada is the exact same as the United Kingdom right now. So let me just share this side-by-side screen with you guys and tell me under which one of these legal systems would you prefer to live?
Unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands.
So, I don't know. Guys, let me know in the chat if you could hear that. He said there, if you find yourself in the unlikely event of a home invasion, the Canadian police are urging people not to take matters into their own hands. I would say this mirrors the laws in the United Kingdom now, whereby if you live in the United Kingdom and somebody enters your home, it's not a criminal offense, it's trespass. Hey, sorry, guys, let me play this video. Let me start again. I'll play the video. I'll get onto the chat and then I'll play the video again.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones.
Criminals were going to take their criminal conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them, if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
Okay, so listen, guys, you know, I'll come back onto that in a minute, but there's two systems there. There's two trains of thought. There's two directions of travel. So on one hand, you know, you've got the Canadian, the British model. If somebody breaks into your house, you know, the Canadian and the British model is, you know, don't take matters into your own hand, protect your family, you know, and phone the police. That you guys heard that, right? I'm not making this up. You guys heard that. If you live in Florida, your advice is blow them back out the door with your guns. I don't know, guys. Which one do you think prevents more crime? Of those two systems, which one do you think prevents more crime? I don't know. Which one do we think prevents more crime, guys? Do we think if we have a society that can protect itself, a masculine society, a society that has the legal framework, here I go again with my legal frameworks, the legal framework to protect themselves, do you think you get more or less crime? So now just consider you've got a little gang, you know, you've got a gang, whatever you envisage that gang as, and I'll show you another video in a second, whatever you envisage that gang as, you know, they're looking around for a house that they're thinking, oh yeah, we're going to get me some TVs. You know, they're thinking about stealing TVs, or I don't know. Or maybe it's the Norwegian fishermen and they're like, yes, I hear these gentlemen have the greatest hooks and I can do a lot more fishing. You know, who knows what that demographic is. But of those two scenarios, house number one, Britain, Canada, you know, if you break into that house, you know, their advice is not to take matters into their own hands, to protect their family and vacate the house and phone the police. Yes, that's your advice, right? So that's the advice in house number one. House number two is sat there with all the guns, and they've been told, if anybody kicks your door in, you blow them back down the street. That's what they've been told, literally by the police chief. So now you're a criminal, you're thinking, house number one or house number two? Like, which one are they going to go with, guys? Literally, which one are they going to go with? Right, I'm going to show you guys another video now. Yes, I am, good sir. Is it that one? No, it's not. Is it that one? No, it's this one. I'm going to show you guys another video now, guys, okay? And this is wild. This is like the reality of the situation now. So we've just seen what the advice is in Florida and Canada. I'm going to show you this now. This is, you know, make of this what you want. I don't know if it's true, guys. It could be AI. I'm caveating this. This is just a video I saw.
My son only tried to rob you, and you took his life. That was an abuse of force, Channing.
So they're saying here, a retired veteran was charged with murder after shooting and killing 3 intruding teenagers into his own home. I don't think that's correct, guys. I'm pretty sure that he got let off with that. There was no, this didn't happen. But let's just continue and let me tell me what you guys think.
You must pay for this.
A military veteran has been charged with murder after shooting and killing 3 teenagers.
So there you are, guys. Put yourself in that situation, all right? You're a mother, you've got kids, you're a family. Bang, bang, bang. The door's getting kicked in. The door's getting kicked. It's getting kicked. It's getting kicked. People know that you're vulnerable. I mean, maybe you live in the United Kingdom and you're a little bit worried because the Deliveroo driver's been looking in through your garden. Maybe the Amazon driver's been looking and paying special attention and looking that you're a vulnerable woman, an old person. And this happens. You know, you start hearing, and this is broad daylight as well. Sorry, Larry, let's just watch this again.
Pay for this.
A military veteran has been charged with murder after shooting and killing 3 teenagers who broke into his home. The parents of the teens are now demanding that the court sentence the veteran to death. According to police in Georgia, the 3 masked teens showed up at the veteran's house around 3 p.m.
So here we have it, guys, okay? 3 masked teens turn up to this guy's house and they start kicking his door in. Like, how are you supposed to react?
They kicked in the front door and entered the home to rob it, unaware that the homeowner was a former soldier. The veteran opened fire as soon as they entered. One of the teens fired back, triggering.
So it was a gunfight. So it was literally a gunfight. One of the teens was shooting. Obviously, you know, he was probably holding it like this, and probably the length of his training was watching, you know, Boys in the Hood or something.
A violent shootout. A neighbor, startled by the gunfire, immediately called 911. When officers arrived, they found all 3 teens shot multiple times in the head and chest. Paramedics pronounced all 3 dead at the scene. Later, family members confirmed that among the dead were 2 brothers, ages 15 and 16. After the autopsy report revealed that a total of 28 bullets had been recovered from the teens' bodies, their parents were furious, calling the homeowner's actions beyond excessive.
So if he was just to conceptualize that, guys, if he was firing with a pistol, he had to change magazines.
They insisted the shooting was brutal and demanded that prosecutors charge the veteran with murder and seek the death penalty. The homeowner, however, maintains that he acted in self-defense and that his life was in immediate danger. Under Georgia's self-defense and stand your ground laws, authorities determined that his actions fell within the bounds of lawful self-defense.
Did you hear that, guys, there? Okay, in America, they have self-defense laws. They have laws where you can protect yourself. I told you the bit at the beginning was false. So he was totally within his rights to defend himself and his property. What do we have in the United Kingdom, guys? What do we have? We have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. If somebody breaks into your house in the United Kingdom, somebody comes into your house in the United Kingdom, it's not even a criminal offense. It's a civil offense. And you have to then take them through a civil court.
This veteran once fought to defend his country. Now alone in his own home, he fought to defend himself. Do you think this was justified self-defense, or did he go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Like, for me, watching that video, the first bit where that woman comes up and she's saying, my kids only came to rob you, and you took his life. I'm like, what? Yo, my boys only came in to give you a little bit of robbing with their guns. They only came in with their guns, and you shot them. You're an old white man, and I can't believe this racism. You can see it, can't you, guys? You can absolutely see it. It's just insane. Like, how that, like, honestly, if that was my kids, I'd be absolutely disgraced. I'd be gutted. I would be gutted that, you know, I'd be gutted that I didn't teach them better first, you know, and I would be absolutely, like, mortified and ashamed that my kids had done that. Under no circumstances would I be screaming and saying, like, in my mind, I wouldn't even conceptualize, right, that guy had done something wrong. I wouldn't even conceptualize that in my mind. I'd just say, I'd probably go up to him and say, look, you know, I can only apologize for what my kids have done. You've taken my babies away, but, you know, they shouldn't have been robbing you. Like, for me, this is not about right and wrong. This is about perception. And that woman's perception that you know, I mean, when she starts the conversation, like she starts, well, look, guys, let me be clear. I don't know where the edits are. I'm you know, this could be AI. I'm just giving you guys this as a reaction to that video we just saw. Can you imagine, all right, believing and just saying those things? My sons only came to rob you, and they were armed. They had pistols themselves. My sons only came to rob you, and you shot them. Like, what was he supposed to do? Help them search for the money? Oh, you're here to rob me, right? Oh, okay. Well, I got some money under here if you just want that. What else do you just want? Just want my TV? Just want... Oh, you don't want it? Oh, no, it's an old one. It lasted me a long time. I was in the Vietnam War with that TV. Yeah, old Betsy. Old Betsy's a good old girl. It's insane. And I was looking for, I saw these videos the other day, and I just wanted to bring them to the forefront, because just to highlight how here in the United Kingdom, guys, we have nothing like that. You know, we literally have nothing like that. Like, zero. Somebody comes into your house, and this is going to start to happen. Like, tell me, guys, put it in the chat. Can you guys put it in the chat if you've seen videos of Deliveroo drivers, Amazon delivery drivers, just basically like, you know, people trying to make entry into other people's houses. I know I have. I shared with you guys a video the other day on the live stream. God, it's hot in here. Oh. I shared with you guys a video the other day of I shared with you guys a video the other day of what was it? It was what's alleged to be African migrants walking around a housing estate late at night trying people's doors. And this was caught on like one of those Ring doorbells or something. Now, let me put this into context. In fact, you know what? I'm going to ask AI, and we're going to talk. I'm going to give you guys the AI answer. If I've just put it into AI. Sorry, guys. I had caps lock on. Oh, hang on a minute. This says different. Okay, so AI is telling me that it's different. What? Right, I don't know if this has changed, guys, but can you remember? Can you guys remember how there was the big hullabaloo on when that migrant walked into somebody's house and the police said it was a civil matter and he didn't get arrested? Can you guys remember that? I know I can. I know I'm not being gaslit. Well, I just put this into AI. If someone enters my house in the UK, is it a criminal offence or a civil offence? And AI is telling me, so someone's definitely wrong. Entering your house is a criminal offence in the UK, not just a civil one, because it is considered a form of trespass into a dwelling. While simple trespass on private land is typically a civil matter, entering a dwelling with or without force is a criminal offence known as trespasser assembly and can be an aggravated trespass. Right, I'm going to have to look into this, guys, because I'm pretty sure it was all. Listen, guys, maybe this is just the what's it called? That Mandela effect. Maybe this is that Mandela effect, and we just in an alternate timeline. But can anybody else remember that the migrant in London going into somebody's house and she chased him out with a sharp pointy thing, and there was no charges brought to him because it was a civil offence, and the woman didn't want to pursue it? Like, I'm pretty sure I remember that. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, what I just want to share with you guys is the difference between things in America where they have rights and people can defend themselves, because ultimately, you know, heading towards a civil war that we are already in a civil war, but as soon as people understand where these, divisional lines are, things are going to get a lot worse. There's going to be wars on the streets, guys. There really is. Yeah, thanks, guys. I remember it. Linda Clark say, yeah, I remember it. Right, guys, I'm going to have to look more into this. I am going to have to, I am going to have to look more into this because I don't know whether AI is giving me, sometimes AI lies, and obviously AI can give you a slanted opinion and a woke, AI can give you a woke, AI can be manipulated, obviously. We ask it questions, but I'm not 100% convinced on that answer. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's been another huge attack in Ukraine last night in Kiev. I'm just jumping on the war map now. I want to see where this town of Pokrovs is. Right, so let me. No, I can't see my cursor. There we are. Doesn't look like the town of Pokrovs has moved. No, there's been no movement on the town of Pokrovs in the last 24 hours. But Kiev took a massive airstrike last night, guys. Lots of drones, lots of munitions. It's only a matter of time now, and people are... And I'm not taking... Hang on. I'm not taking anything away from, the Ukrainians. This is this is just it literally is just a numbers game. Yeah, 2 hours ago, guys, from the Guardian. All right, I'm gonna in fact, let's go. Let me just get some pictures up, guys. Give me a second. Are they good pictures? Sorry, guys. I just want to go down and give some. I just want to jump down here and get some pictures for you guys to share. Yeah, this is better. Right, I'm gonna share this with you guys. So last night, Kiev had another massive airstrike last night, and we all know what's coming. The Germans know what's coming. That's why they're starting the conscription that's non-conscription. Martin Quinn says he said he was Deliveroo, but he's got nothing there, just barged into the house. So this is going to happen more and more, ladies and gentlemen. If you live in the United Kingdom, we are having that scenario where people are just entering our houses. I think that the government, do you know what? I want to get back to this because I'm pretty sure, in fact, I'm really confident that it's a civil offense because I saw it all over the news. Lots of people were commenting. Right, let me share this article with you guys. I want to jump over to Ukraine for a minute because if you live in the United Kingdom, Europe, these nations that are within land travel to Russia, to Ukraine, then this is going to suck everyone in, guys. And I think they already know. I think they already know. They already know. I was watching this press conference the other night, yesterday, and I was looking at these people, these German people, and they said, yeah, we are just looking for we just want to find medical examinations, and we want to find out how many people want to be conscripts. Oh no, I mean, how many people would like to join the military? And that's the first phase. Everybody knows. I know that's not where it's going to go. As soon as you start this path, you know where you guys know where it's going to go. 1st of January. And again, I've not found, I have had a quick look. I've not found the numbers. Nobody's telling me what the NATO commitments are. So now I'm going to speculate that regardless of how many people decide, tick that box saying they want to join the German military, I'm going to say that they will find out that they've not reached the numbers and they have to start mandatory military service. Now, you can imagine that from the Russian side, can't you? Imagine if you're the Russians now, right? Imagine you're the Russians. Yoda, da Vladimir, what is this about Germans? Yeah, Vladimir, Germans need to, I'm trying to do it. Just imagine the conversation. I've been messing about with my accents, guys. I'm sorry. So imagine the Russians now. They're sat there and they're like, right, listen, Vladimir, what's this? And he's like, the Germans are trying to recruit 700,000 people. And he's like, oh, what's that for? He's like, well, it's to come and attack us. He's like, oh, should we let them get to full strength or should we attack them first? Well, it makes sense to attack them first, and then it'd lessen the capacity. Right, I want to share this with you guys because I want to share some pictures. I love pictures. A picture paints 1,000 words. Right, where are we? So this is an article. I'll give you the headline. This is about the strike. Zelensky condemns Russia's wicked attack, obviously, overnight attack on Ukraine, Europe Live. So there was a big attack last night in Ukraine. Now, this was, as I understand, this was Kiev. I don't know where, I can't tell where in Kiev that was, but I know where these cranes here in the background, that they are like southern Kiev, I believe, because there was a load of blocks of flats that were getting built, and they just ran out of money and they stopped. I think you can see one there on the left. It's just a concrete shell. Can you imagine that in your city? Here we are. Now look at these these apartment blocks, guys. Can they're people's houses, they're people's homes. Can you imagine living in there one night and wha-doom, wha-doom, wha-doom? There you have it again. State emergency services, Ukraine, evacuating people. It really are these scenes that we're getting here from Kiev, guys. You can only imagine what it's like living there. Again, Kiev skyline. It's a beautiful skyline, Kiev, guys. It really is. I don't know where that is. Yeah, these look like residential buildings. This is not a military. Right, guys, where this is here in Kiev, can I make that? Where that is not a military target. I'm telling you now, that is not a military target. That is a block of an apartment block. You can tell it's an apartment block because there's other apartments there. I mean, maybe somebody will say, and you know what? Maybe it was. Maybe they had war. Maybe they had somebody in there who was military, but you wouldn't take that risk. In a Western military, in a NATO military, you get like a risk assessment, a risk assessment matrix, and it will say like, how important is this guy you're trying to attack? Okay, right, okay. So, and then you've got a list of options you can do. And if he's in a residential building like that, not a chance not a chance he's going to get attacked. Got a woman evacuating with what appears to be a child and I don't know, something in her hand, I would say like a camping mat or something. You got metro station, so you've got the metro station behind her there. So it is real. It's Kiev city centre. This, and what people don't realize is this is just getting closer and closer. Every day, this is getting closer and closer. And inevitably, the United Kingdom are going to be dragged in. There's no way around it, guys. The United Kingdom is going to get dragged into it. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to jump onto the chat because I was just conscious then that I went on a bit of an... I've got one more video to show you, actually. I've got one more video. So for you guys who... I was talking about this the other day. This is not the video. This is a different video. So the other day I was on the live stream and I was talking about how I watched the video of... I said it was a couple, but it wasn't. It was one guy, and he's sleeping in a doorway of a hotel in London, and he's a Cockney. He's a right Cockney geezer. Yeah, I'm a right Cockney geezer. Me like. And there's African migrants stepping over him to get in the hotel for their nice warm bed and their 3 meals a day. That's what I saw a video. Now I'm going to share with you guys another video. This is from, well, I'm going to share this video and let me know what you guys think. So I'm jumping over now, guys, to, no, I'm not jumping over yet. Hang on, give me a second. Where is it? That's it, yeah. So I'm going to jump over to another video now, guys. This is a video that was, well, I'll let you watch the video.
You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
So this is a British homeless couple sleeping on a mattress. For those of you guys on TikTok, what I'm showing now over on YouTube, and guys, listen, on TikTok, I will be closing you down shortly, and I will just be streaming on YouTube and X. But what I'm showing on, excuse me. What I'm showing on YouTube is a British homeless couple sleeping on a mattress in a migrant hotel car park. Tell me what you think about this, guys.
This for a year and a half.
A year and a half?
A year and a half.
They've been there for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Are you from
Yeah, I'm from Derby, yeah. Yeah, born and bred.
So you're homeless and you have to sleep under here in a migrant hotel?
Yeah. Well, no, I've come here out of the rain. This is the only place, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
Thank you.
Is that all right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're all right.
You're right, mate, yeah. That's ridiculous. More British people taking shelter in the car park of the migrant hotel, while the migrants are nice and dry with the electricity and the heating on, etc. We've got healthcare here as well. NHS, I think.
She's clearly eating well.
Got their healthcare. But yeah, they're all in here nice and dry, nice and warm. In the Derby Midland Hotel. I mean, like, you can't make it up. It's ridiculous. Homeless people on the streets, British homeless, taking shelter there. And all these migrants that have come over are in this nice hotel. Tell me what you think about it, guys. Bang out.
So that's not the video that I saw, but, you know, I do think this is, you know, I'd be interested to see how much this is actually happening, where we've got, you know, native British people sleeping rough in hotels, car parks, you know, and they've got nothing. And like, listen, guys, I'll give you some real world stories now. I'll give you a real world story. When I was like 18, my first Christmas away with the military, I was 18. And I was deployed to Northern Ireland. I remember like walking the streets at like, God knows what time patrolling the streets. I wasn't just walking the streets on my own, like, you know, about to break out into a song. I was with my patrol, you know, with the team, 18 years old in Northern Ireland. It was raining. It was in South Armagh. And I remember looking through a window, and there was a family sat there with a Christmas tree. And it was just really weird thinking, I'm out here in the cold and rain and wet, holding this piece of metal. And they're all in there, you know, sat watching TV, and they've got their Christmas tree up. And I'm just thinking, you know, are there homeless people now standing outside these hotels, looking in at the windows and seeing people, it's boiling in here, open the window. Oh, God, I'm stuffed. Oh, yeah, throw that away, I'm stuffed. Are we going to get to a stage? Guys, where migrants are going to start coming out with food packages for the homeless on the streets? Can you see how dystopian we are right now, ladies and gentlemen? Can you see how dystopian this is right now? And look, before I jump onto the chat, I am going to jump onto the chat, guys. I am, because I'm just conscious I've totally neglected the chat. Before I jump onto the chat, all this gets solved if we have some sort of legal framework to protect ourselves, like they do in Florida. And I will share that video with you guys again, because I do think it's fantastic. I do. Can you imagine your local police chief? Just imagine this, guys, all right? Imagine this. Imagine your local tips and Beats and Tape says, don't lie, you were singing. Yeah, we all used to do like TikTok dances down the street with our rifles and stuff. But can you imagine now? Can you imagine now if the Prime Minister or somebody came out like they did in Florida and they said, right, listen, this is a warning to all criminals. All right, this is a warning to all criminals. If you want to commit crime to people in the United Kingdom, I am giving the people in the United Kingdom the right to defend themselves draconianly. And if you want to attack somebody in the United Kingdom and they attack you back, that's the end of it. That is literally the end of it. That, you know, whatever happens to you, that's on you. You know, that is literally on you. Like the guy did in Florida, he said, I'll share the video with you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to share the video once now, guys, and then I will jump onto the chat. Where is it? Is it that one? Yes, that one. So imagine right now if this was us in the United Kingdom. Imagine the difference. Imagine how you would feel walking around, guys, okay?
In the unlikely event that you find yourself...
So, sorry, guys, if you're just joining for the first time on YouTube, this is a video, and it's a comparison between how you're taught in Canada, what to do in Canada if your house gets invaded, and I would say would be the same advice to people in the United Kingdom, and what the police chief tells you to do in Florida. And I, for one, guys, I'm Team Florida.
The victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands.
So there you are, guys. If you're Canadian and somebody invades your home, don't take matters into your own hands. That's not for... No, that's not for you. You've got to phone 911 and wait for the police to come.
While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones.
Criminals were
And this is how they roll in Florida, guys. This is a warning to criminals in Florida.
going to take their criminal
Imagine if this was the UK and the police commissioner was saying something like this. Imagine how empowered everybody would feel.
Conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them, if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've got two different trains of thought, two dynamics, two ways of, having a society. One, I would say one of those encourages crime, and the other one reduces crime. Right, guys, I'm going to jump onto the comments now. Good morning, everyone on YouTube. In fact, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close you guys down now on TikTok. I am, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok, and I'm going to jump over to YouTube, because we're going to be talking about guns. We're going to be talking about self-defense. We're going to be talking about things that would get this live stream banned. Martin Quinn has said, just got a message on TikTok. Stop putting unleading messages. If you're going to get blown away with a gun, keep away from the house. Exactly. If you're a crook, you don't want to get... Right, listen, I've got to be careful what I say on TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Quinn has just identified exactly why I need to jump over to YouTube, because he's getting his messages blocked. I will get banned if I continue this conversation on TikTok. So I am going to close you guys down now on TikTok. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. I am streaming over there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to continue this and you want to find out more about what's happening, jump over to YouTube, guys. And if not, then I'll see you later, because I'll be back on at 10. Are we off? No, we're not off. I might not be turning you guys off. Yes, I am. Right, let me just do this, guys. I need to take the charger out of the phone. Right, I'm going to jump onto the chat now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, team. So, ladies and gentlemen, street war in the United Kingdom. It's begun. Civil war, conscription, World War III. It's all here. It's already started. It's literally already started. Like the Germans, they are literally starting conscription on the 1st of January. That's the reality. Okay, street wars in the United Kingdom. They're here now. They're literally here. There are parts of London that white people don't go. There are parts. It's crazy, guys. Okay, we're already segregated. The definition of a civil war is violent conflict between two organized groups. I'm going to say that's already here, guys. It's already here. And when we talk about World War III, it's coming. The Ukrainians cannot hold out. Every day they're getting beaten. Every day they're losing ground. And every day that happens is a day closer to our children getting that. You know what? Can you imagine this? Can you imagine Keir Starmer? Or like, who's the health secretary? It's that guy, West Streeting. Can you imagine now? West Streeting coming up saying, yes, we want to do a medical review of everybody 18 and over. This is not for conscription, but there will be a questionnaire, and you will have to put in that questionnaire whether you would serve in the military or not. But this is not conscription. You've seen the way they're doing it now. You've seen the way they're doing it. The Germans, they've started, and that will be the template that gets rolled out in all these other countries. And when people think, when people are saying, oh, sure, nothing's happening, it really is. It's just happening. Tiptoeing. It's just tiptoeing. We all expect, like we all expect a big missile strike. Oh, that may happen at some point. We all expect this like big missile strike, and then Keir Starmer to come up and give like this speech saying, on this day of the 15th of November, 2025, I, Keir Starmer, declare Britain is in a state of war with country X. We all expect that to happen, don't we? The reality is, it's just tiptoe steps towards that until all the troops are out there and everybody's fighting, and they're like, we are not in a war. We're not in a war. It's a limited military skirmish operation. Right, listen, guys, there's too many comments to get. I'm just going to jump down and get the most recent ones. D-Marie Gen X is saying, so what is NATO likely to do, Sean? Go back into Ukraine and try and take the ground back. So what I think the most likely scenario is, I'm not going to share the map with you guys. What I think the most likely scenario, if you guys can, I will share the map, actually. I will share the map. How do I share? Right. Sorry, guys. I will share the map, actually, because it's easier just to explain on this map. So what I think... So this is a map of Ukraine. Obviously, you've got Kiev there with like you've got Kiev there with the shield, and then I don't know if you guys can see. That river going down that like literally bisects the country east and west. So that's the River Dnipro. Now, what I think the most likely initial course of action would be that NATO forces move into the west of that river and up to the river. That would then relieve all the Ukrainian rear forces. So also in the north, you've got the border with Belarus, which is a hostile country. So the NATO forces would take the security to the north up to the River Dnipro, and then that would give the Ukrainians the ability to surge forwards then. Now, once those troops are in ground, you can do something called... you can call it a lot of things. It's training and mentoring. So it would be task-specific training. So now with task-specific training, it's kind of like Mad Max style stuff. It's asymmetric. So you don't have the ability now to train soldiers for 4-6 months to train them all their infantry skills. But what you do have, you can let them for like a week, 10 days and then train them on one particular objective. And once you send them out to do one particular objective, then they come back. Now, quite a big part of training is the mentoring bit. Now, to mentor, you need to go out on the ground with them. So what I would speculate would happen is there would be a certain, and again, this is just speculation, guys, you know, this may be the answer, maybe a lot of things, but this certainly would be one of them. You would get a scenario where you get a British platoon and they would train a Ukrainian company. So a company will consist of 3 platoons. So now what would happen is maybe the commanders or a command element of that training platoon would go out on the ground with the Ukrainians as mentors, and then they would conduct that mission, and then they would come back. So that would be one aspect. But in the first instance, I don't see any NATO troops going over the River Dnipro. The land barrier, the geographical feature of the River Dnipro, it's too perfect, guys. You know, it makes no sense not to hide behind that, because it's very difficult to mount an attack over water because you can't walk over water. I know I can walk over water. I don't know if everybody else can. I know tanks can't. Maybe if I was in a tank, maybe the tank would, but, you know, you can't walk over water. Silly Gallardi is saying, did you hear that South Africa denied 150 Gazan refugees? I did not, Silly. But you know what? I bet there's space for them in the United Kingdom somewhere. I bet they can come to I bet there's nice houses ready for them in the United Kingdom. Debbie Doobs is saying, oh, she's talking to Emma. Hang on. Oh, I think, okay, sorry. Templar Matt is saying, it's easier asking forgiveness than permission. Just remember, we can preventatively strike first to protect ourselves. What I was talking about with the United States is they actively encourage people to defend themselves. And I think that's a brilliant thing. Here in the United Kingdom, we don't. We tell people you've got to phone the police. And then they may or may not come out. You may or may not even be able to get through to them. Debbie Doobs has said, just had a severe weather warning. Cats and dogs. Yeah, it is pretty bad. It is pretty bad weather this morning. When I opened the wind, I don't know if you guys know or not, but the wind is blowing it normally blows. What is it? Which way is west? Hang on. It normally blows west to east. Sorry, guys, I had to think about that then. Yeah. It normally blows west to east. This morning, it's blowing east to west. So we're getting rain on a different aspect of the house, and we don't usually get it there. So it sounds worse than it actually is because we don't usually get it there. Now, I went out this morning to open the gate because we've got quite a big gate, and you have to be there. I have to move a bar. A ram bar. Yeah, I've got a ram bar on my gate. So I went down to move the bar, and the wind, oh God, I just thought, wow, right now, somewhere, and they are, guys, right, what time is it? Right now, there'll be somebody in the military, they'll be out on exercise, and they've probably been out since Monday. So Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. They woke up this morning after doing sentry all night, maybe getting 2-3 hours sleep tops. They woke up this morning in a wet puddle. This is what happens. This is literally like, people don't understand military training. You know, they think it's all like Call of Duty stuff. A lot of it is, you know, living and moving in undetected in woodland. So they'll be there in a wood somewhere, in a little puddle, in a puddle full of mud. And all they've got to look forward to is a section attack or a platoon attack this afternoon. And then they can get on coaches and go back to wherever their barracks is. And the morale thing the morale thing is when you see those coaches turn up, because coaches are, when the coaches turn up, they're civilians, and the military can't fuck around the civilian contractors because they will get charged. Like, it will cost a lot of money because the civilian contractors are there for a pickup at this time and they want to be gone. So, you know, they're booked. And when you see those coaches, guys, and you're in the military and you're like, oh, I've seen the coaches. And somebody will come back and they'll say, mate, I've seen the coaches. And everybody's morale will stick up. And you're like, what? Have you seen them? Yeah. How many is there? 8. No way. Oh my God, we're all getting on them. We don't have to wait. Yeah, wow, 8 coaches. They're all here. We're all getting on those coaches and we're going home. John Thistle. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I don't know what this is. GB News, new evidence sparks review of payout denial for 3.8 million WASPy women. I'm going to have to look at that. I don't know what the I don't know what I've seen that, but I'm not actually clued in on that. John Thistlethwaite is saying, the thing is, Sean, once upon a time, an Englishman's home was his castle. Now the UK want to go woke. At least that's what they are putting. I suspect this is why they sit back and let them do what they want. What they want with you as soon as they can, as soon as we can, the way I'm looking at it. This is, I honestly think they are brainwashing the next generation not to listen. You know, we talk about generations. Other people have started to listen, guys. Other people have started to take notice now. They have. I promise you. Oh, I can cough. Where's my coffee? Oh, it's here. Other people have started to take notice now. And have you noticed, all right, Gen Z, Generation Z, last year, like the last summer, so not this summer just gone, summer 24, I remember very explicitly sitting down with you guys and doing a video and saying, I witnessed something today that I didn't expect. It was when we were at the riots that turned into riots in Rotherham, when they tried to burn the hotel down. I said to you guys, I witnessed something that I did not expect at all. And it was this younger generation. Now, in that video, and subsequently, what I've said is I've called those kids the golden generation. I've done lots of videos saying protect the golden generation at all costs. It turns out they're Gen Z. And what people are starting to notice is it's having a counter effect. Gen Z are becoming monsters. And I, for one, absolutely welcome that, guys. I absolutely welcome Gen Z becoming monsters. You know, these are the kids right now who are going to rebuild this country. I promise you, they will rebuild this country. So if you're, again, I always say if you're 16 and under, but it's probably 17 and under now, whatever. If you're around that age, of course, if you're 18, 19, I'd cut it off at 20. If you're 16 and under right now, I've been calling you the golden generation, but apparently that's Gen Z. If you're Gen Z, you're going to be the strongest generation we've had because you guys and younger, because those guys are going to be growing up in an absolute struggle. Guys. They are growing up in a struggle. And the conversations that you have with these kids at home at the dinner table, these are very shaping. These conversations you have with the children at the dinner table, they shape their futures. They really do, guys. They shape their futures. So when we talk about generations, I do think, you know, and more people are getting onto this now. You've seen lots of videos talking about Gen Z going away from wokeism, Gen Z coming back to conservatism, Gen Z coming back to Christianity. And I think it's a fantastic thing, guys. I do. I think it's a fantastic thing. Emma Green is saying, my nephew is a bit woke. He isn't now. He has learned the errors of his ways, shall we say. And this is what you're getting. You know, people are waking up And this younger generation, guys, they are going to be they're going to be monsters. I promise you. They are going to be absolute monsters. And then their children, and this is how it works. This is the cycle that we're in as humanity, okay? So this is how it works. You know the meme, strong men create good times create weak men create hard times create strong men. There's never been a truer meme. So now you've got to understand that when Gen Z have kids, their kids will grow up and everything will be fine. They will never know that struggle because their parents, our Gen Z now, if you're 16 and under, they made it so. They made it so their kids didn't have to struggle. We said, you know what? Gen Z will literally say, you know what? Here and no further. We're going to stop this. It's done. It's done. It's going no further. And then when their children grow up, they'll grow up without that fear. Their children will grow up not knowing the fears that their parents knew. So when their kids grow up, their kids are going to be like the liberals. You know, their kids are going to be like, you know, the liberals. Oh, everyone's free. Everyone's equal. I've never had to struggle myself. This is liberal Western democracy. And then you let the bad people grow. And then you have to have another generation. And this is what happens in humanity. There's no way out of it, guys. It's part of being humans. And right now, we are in a fourth turning war cycle. Let me tell you what that means. No, not fourth turning water cycle. Jesus. Fourth? Okay, so the fourth turning theory, popularized by William Strauss and Neil Howe, describes 4 phases of recurring historical cycles, each lasting about 20 to 25 years. The 4 phases are the high phase, an era of strong institutions and conformity, the awakening, a period of cultural and spiritual upheaval, the unraveling, characterized by institutional decay and individualism, and the crisis, the final phase where society faces a major challenge like a war or economic collapse and has to rebuild its institutions. So that's literally, you know the meme? You know the meme, hard times create strong men create good times, good. You guys know the meme. That's literally what it is, guys. It's the fourth turning. Now, this was a book by Strauss and Howe, where they set out those phases because it's how you raise your children and what your children witness in the world. So if your children never witness, stabby, rammy, they won't think that stabby, rammy is possible. If your children grow up with stabby, rammy and start to do pattern recognition, there's a pattern here. Every time we get stabby, it's a person who looks like that. They will start to recognize those patterns and think, right, okay, I don't want to be associated with those people. So they get rid of those people and they build a utopia. Their children grow up in that utopia. They don't see stabby, rammy. They let those people in. They get stabby, rammy. Their children see this, and you see how the cycles repeat. Always. You know, you can go back as far as recorded history, and you see these cycles. Oh, so no fault evictions are banned. Well, that's going to annoy a lot of politicians. D, you're joking about what Azim bullying the white British boy. Unbelievable. I don't know what we're talking about there, guys. What we're talking about. Why? I don't understand what we mean there. Martin Quinn is saying you'll be able to say anything. Anybody will be tagged. Everybody will have to let the government know where they're going and what they're doing. I think we're talking about digital ID there. D Region X is saying my 9-year-old daughter is bang wide already. In school, they were given a book to read. All right, okay, about Azim, a migrant bullied by a British boy called Tom. She said to me, Mummy, teachers are a lefty. Yeah, they are massively. But this is what I mean, guys. This is what I mean. Kids are not stupid. How do I say this? So I don't want to incriminate anyone here. There's a friend we know. And their child goes to a school. And in that school, it's a secondary school, all the girls of a certain demographic stick together, and they are very aggressive in the dinner hall. So nobody goes into that dinner hall. Now, all those girls and all those kids, it's a pack of girls. It's a pack of big girls. Like big girls. And this pack of girls at this particular school, they all stick together and they're very aggressive and, and they bully everyone. They do because they stick together. Now, the kids are watching that and they're doing the pattern recognition. They're like, oh, okay. So you guys, right, okay, so that's how you guys roll. So kids are seeing this with their own eyes, And then they're going to the classrooms and the teachers are telling them, no, that's not happening. And they're like, no, I just saw it out there. I just saw it. I saw it. I saw that with my own eyes. So, kids are understanding now what's happening. And, I said this many times. We've got this golden generation growing up 16 and under. These guys are going to be monsters. Martin Quinn is saying, we will be having poems. Knock, knock, Margaret, you can walk in any door. It wouldn't surprise me. So who just said, somebody just said that the border force are on strike. I didn't know that, but what I do remember is the last time the border force, why are they on strike? Why are they on strike? Why are the border force on strike? Do they stop people coming into the country? I thought they give them hotels. It should be like maybe they're going to change the name. Maybe the border force, they're on strike because they want to change their name to the British hospitality force. But I can remember the last time the border force were on strike. It massively shot them in the foot because the border force went on strike. So the military had to step up, like they always do. So the military had to step up. And I can remember watching somebody going through, I think it was Luton Airport. It was really funny. So Border Force have gone on strike and they're like, yeah, we're gonna bring this country to its knees. We're gonna go on strike and wait till you see the queues and the delays. And so the Border Force were on strike. And the military had to come in and take the places. I remember watching, I actually think it was a BBC interview, or I think it was BBC, and it doesn't matter who it was. And they were going in, they were interviewing people, and they were saying, "Oh, how have you found it now? The border force are on strike." And this one bloke, I remember him coming in and saying, "Well, to be honest, love, I come through this airport all the time, and I've never been through as quickly or as efficiently as I did today. It's a lot better ran now as it is." And I was like, yeah, well done, Border Force. Yeah, well done. Helen MG is saying they keep censoring and banning the truth. But you can't ban anything anymore. You really can't. You can't censor anything. I guess you can, but the truth always comes out. and it's virtually impossible now to censor people, to cancel people, even, especially with like social media and stuff. And what censoring actually does, it's massively counterproductive censoring, because you get this disconnect now. You get this disconnect. For example, the BBC have just been done, right? So the BBC have just been done for, do you know what? Let me try and get it up. Give me a second. I'm just going to try and find the BBC Trump speech. Right. Okay. So I don't know if this is it, guys. I don't know if this is it. I think. Right. I'm going to share this with you guys. I don't know if this is it, but I am going to share it with you. This is literally the first one that's jumped up. So we talk about, you know, things being hidden from us and media manipulation and how you can't hide things. I'm just going to share this with you. So this is the Trump speech. I don't know if this is the one, guys. It might be the wrong one, but I've literally just searched for it now. So let me see if it is the right one. Oh, no, that's definitely not it, is it? Where is it? I swear I just had it. Oh, there it is.
To the Capitol.
So here you've got this is the BB. Okay, right. I don't know if this is the one. So you've got on the left the panorama edit, and then it's going to show you the right what he actually said.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
So can you see how wild that is, guys? Like, let me just show you this again. So the first speech is the BBC edited version. So that's what liberals and everybody in the United Kingdom saw, and they're like, oh my God, look what Trump's saying. Ah! And then it shows you what he actually said.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
So that's what he actually said. Now, you can see from that is a massive, massive manipulation of media. Do you not think? So all these people now in the UK who've watched that on Panorama, no, I've seen it. No, I have seen Donald Trump encouraging people to fight. I saw it on the BBC. It was wrong. How many more of these things are there? So now you can understand how people are seeing both of these things and thinking, what am I looking at here? Like, I mean, what I just gave you then, that example is on the absolute macro. I mean, I don't think you get bigger than that, manipulating the president of the most powerful man in the world, manipulating his speech to make it look like he said something that he totally didn't. So now you've got that scenario where even on the micro, we're being told that this is happening. And then we're looking and we say, no, that's not happening. I can see what's happening with my own eyes. Emma Watts is saying, if you read the Bible off your phone, please don't, because they are changing the words and the meanings. I always get confused about this, guys. You know, so all these Bibles and these books, I get it. You know, you can do it very easily on digitally, but how do we know they've not been changed? Like, how do we know they've even at print? How do we know even at print? Like, a few words haven't been changed, an extra verse has been added, an extra verse has been taken out. I mean, we know there's been lots of books taken out of the Bible. I think the well, you know, I know that the most comprehensive, intact version of the Bible is the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, the Ethiopian Orthodox Christians Bible. That is the most comprehensive Bible. And I think there's like 40, let me Google this. I think there's 14 extra books. So the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible includes extra books not found in other Bibles, such as the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilee, the Book of Baruch, and books of Maccabees, including the third book. I don't know what that means. So I'm sure it was 14. I'm sure there was 14 extra books. Okay. Again, AI is giving me a weird answer, but I'm pretty sure there's 14 extra books in the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible. So, you know, what did those books contain? Now, I know the Book of Enoch. If you read the Book of Enoch, the Book of Enoch is like it's about aliens. Literally, guys, the Book of Enoch is about aliens. There's no denying it. If you read the Book of Enoch and you say it's not about aliens, you're in cuckoo land. Yeah, Enoch is all giants and monsters, you know, those that fall from the sky. So the Book of Enoch is basically these fallen angels come down from the sky and they have babies with men and with women, and like human women. And these are like the giants and they run havoc on earth. But this all comes into line with the, you know, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Templar Matt is saying, Sean, ask AI if it was a human, which religion would it choose? Right, okay, let me ask it now. It's just given me, it said no. As an AI, Google search cannot have a religion. Choosing a religion is a personal decision based on individual beliefs. So it's not giving me right. Let me ask Grok. Grok doesn't shy away from stuff. Grok jumps in. Right. Give me a second. I felt like I was on blind date then. Grok, if you was a human, which religion would you choose and why? It'd be a Buddhist. So if I were a human, flesh, blood, and doubts, wow. I mean, that is powerful in itself. If I was a human, flesh, blood, and doubts, I'd probably choose Buddhism. Specifically, a secular, non-theistic strain like early Jesus, there's words I can't pronounce here, or modern mindfulness-based practice. Here's why. Yeah, so I'm just going to go it, guys, okay? So Grok would choose Buddhism with a runner-up as Stoicism. So, yeah, so Grok would be a Buddhist. There you go. I've answered that question, ladies and gentlemen. Next. Emma, what? Right, guys, I can see this path that we're going down right now. I can see the path we're going down right now. Yes. archaeologists have found giant skeletons. Now, when you and have you seen the elongated skulls as well? Have you guys seen the elongated skulls that are literally aliens? They're aliens. These elongated skulls are humanoid aliens, or maybe we're the aliens and they're the real humans, and we're like maybe we're the alienoids. But have you guys seen that the elongated skulls? Let me find this. I'll get a picture for you guys. Let me try and find a news. No, that's weird. That's weird. I've just done elongated skulls found, and there's no news articles of it. Right, here we are. Right, here we are. Let me share this with you guys. So this is an article. I'll share this with you guys now. Let me know what you think. All right. Where are we? Sorry, I forget I'll share screens sometimes. So what do you think, guys? What do we think? Is this legit? Are these skulls legit? So this is mysterious giant Paracas skulls of Peru. In Paracas, Peru, researchers found 5 sets of human remains, including, no, I don't want the newsletter, including 2 with elongated skulls, linking to local legends. So look, what do we think about these elongated skulls? Do we think they're aliens? I would say, like, look at the eyes. Those eyes look bigger, don't they? Those eyes look bigger than a normal human skull. You can only imagine what this person looked like, right? You know, like big skull, big brain, big eyes. That's, you know, this is like these images of aliens and stuff that people depict. Now, if you go with the if you go with some ancient Egyptian, let's just look for some ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. You always get those, the people, and they always have like the long heads, don't they? Well, let me tell you a little secret, ladies and gentlemen. Egypt and South America, Egypt and Peru are a long way away from each other. So let me see if I can get, yeah, here we are. Give me a second. Right, I'm just going to share this, guys. So, no, I'm not going to share that one. Do you know what? No, I'm not going to share it. Right. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys just need to search for ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, and all the hieroglyphics and all the depictions of the gods. They have these really long heads, and they have like something on it, like a hat or something, you know. So I don't know. Maybe there's a connection there. Lisa's saying I've got a man in my kitchen fitting a fan. Be careful what you wish for, Lisa. Be careful what you wish for. I can remember once I was in Baghdad, and a good friend of mine, Richie, his wife was having a kitchen fitted, and they'd asked for like a marble top or something. And so she's phoned him up on Skype. I think Skype's finished now. So this is how long ago it was. So she phoned him up on Skype, and she said, Richie, I came in and the builders have put the kettle over the, and there's a massive chunk out of the, there's a massive chunk out of the was it granite, or I don't know, maybe granite or marble, whatever it is. Anyway, so I walked into Richie's room, and he had his earphones on and a microphone, and he'd got his wife to take the computer into the kitchen, right? And he said, she said, oh, I don't know, say her name was Lisa. He said, right, Lisa, I want you to get me, right, in front of the scratch. So when I point like this, I'm pointing at the scratch, all right? So now so that you've got this guy with earphones on, a microphone, and he's really berating these builders over Skype. And he's pointing down like that and threatening these builders. And I walked in, I said, Richie, what was that? He said, oh, I had the builders. And I just like, I was trying to conceptualize like what those builders were thinking. There's a laptop open, all right? There's a man shouting at them and pointing to a chip in the worktop. It was phenomenal. But anyway, Lisa, I hope you don't get any chips in your worktops. John is saying, Aliens the movie doesn't seem that far-fetched now. I think I prefer Aliens with, I mean, isn't that a fantastic movie? Isn't that a great movie? Do you know what I found earlier? Do you know what I found earlier, John? I was looking for a DVD for the girls. What was it? Where the Wild Things Are. And nobody watches DVDs now. Anyway, I was searching through the DVDs on like in one of the spare bedrooms. And I found, honestly, guys, listen, you men, you guys know what you guys are going to know what this is all about. I found, all right, a DVD box, and it had 3 movies in it. Do you know what those 3 movies were? Terminator, Commando, and Predator. I was like, mate. I opened it up, and you know what I'd put in there as well? A DVD copy of Pumping Iron. I'm like, mate, I'm keeping that one. That one needs to go in a special drawer. Sean, I'm terrified of the rats falling out of the hole where the fan is being fitted. The rats are in... What? You have rats in your cavities? Where do you live, Lisa? Surely that's like... I don't even know, like... I don't even know what to say. Nobody needs that. I wouldn't have a hole. If there was a hole, I would not have a hole. Absolutely not. I had an in the extractor fan in one of the the spare bathrooms. Well, in one of the bathrooms last year or the year before. Yeah, I think it was last year. Wasps had made a nest in the inside of the extractor fan. Anyway, so I went to the store to get some stuff. They didn't have any wasp killer. Anyway, so I Googled it. I thought, right, the active ingredient in wasp killer, wasp nest killer, it can't be that much different from ant killer. And it's not. So I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to do is I could see the wasp nest in the pipe. There was no wasps coming into the loft. So out the extractor fan goes out the loft. It's not out the loft. It goes out of the bathroom into the loft, through the extractor fan, and out the side of the house. So I go up in the loft. I could see the wasp nest. I could literally see the wasp nest inside the plastic sheath. So I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to puncture a little hole, tiny little hole in this extractor fan. And I'm just going to blast a load of ant killer in there because I couldn't find any wasp nest killer. All right, cool. Got it. Yeah. You guys know exactly what happened, right? So I stabbed it with a stick. The plastic is maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 years old. It had all gone rotten and it just went, poof, wasps just went, poof, wasps in the loft. Honestly, guys, it was an absolute, it took me a long time to get rid of that wasp nest anyway. So the moral to that story is don't let the wasps get in the first place. So now every summer, Every summer, I will go up into wasp, and I'm absolutely anal on finding wasps. And those of you guys who've been on the live stream, it's my thing. If I see a wasp, I don't care. If I see a wasp, I have to make 100% effort to transcend that wasp into a better place. I just have to do it, guys, all right? Because I can't let that happen. And this year, we haven't had any wasp nests. Right, I'm just looking at the chat. Oh, Lisa saying, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Look, guys, I'm just going to run through real quick what we was talking about because I've just looked at the time. I've been waffling. Okay, so street wars in the United Kingdom, guys. They're already here. Civil war's already here. It's begun. Conscription in Germany and World War III. So if you guys are living in the United Kingdom, the definition of a civil war is a violent clashes between two organized groups. That is already here. Under that definition, we are already in civil war. Conscription, NATO countries have started conscription, started the first stage of conscription. Over in Germany, the Germans are saying on the 1st of January, all men over 18, they're interested how they only say men. All men over 18, all men have to go and have a medical evaluation. And in that medical evaluation, excuse me, and listen, do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that medical evaluation is going to be more than the questions you're answering. I'm going to say that medical evaluation is going to be more than the questions that are answering. Now, if you guys think about what I've been saying, conscription, we need conscripts to go and fight. And those conscripts are kind of going to be like Mad Max type conscripts. I'm going to say that if you put down, like, you've got problems and stuff, the Germans are not shy of eugenics. Let's just say that. Let's just say the Germans are not shy of eugenics, all right? And I'm just going to leave it there. Do you know what? I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to explain because we're on YouTube and that's why you guys are here. So I'm going to speculate that the Germans may want to get rid of some undesirables. So the Germans may not want to send their master race out there as the first wave. That's all I'm saying, guys. We know the Germans do this. We know those Germans love their bloodlines. They do. They do love a good German bloodline. Right, listen, guys, I'm going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic. You've been fantastic, beautiful. Mr. Mark paid $3,000 for an $3,000 for a granite worktop, and he'd also be pissed. It was just funny. It was just funny going in somebody's room and he's got like the earphones on and the microphone and he's Welsh. He's saying, "Hey, I didn't pay you for a worktop with a great big hole in it. Yeah." And you can only imagine, can't you? Like being on somebody's laptop or a tablet. I don't know what it was. And somebody's bollocking you and they're pointing. It's like, it's wild. It's the interactive, the interactive experience of kitchen fitters in the 21st century. I'm going to close this down now, guys. I've given you guys a crux of what we've been talking about. Street wars are here. It's already begun. Civil war, conscription, and World War III. Moving closer every day. Kiev's under fire, losing ground every day. The Germans have started conscription. It's only a matter of time before we here in the United Kingdom get the call where everybody has to go and do the mandatory military medical, but it's not conscription, guys. Don't worry. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic. I'll be back on at 8 this evening. Let's see what's happened. Remember, guys, it is a Friday and crazy stuff happens on a Friday, and I bid you good evening. Good morning. I bid you good morning. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share if you're on, guys. And become members.